What's going on, everyone? Hope you're all doing well. Unofficial Star Wars here, and in today's video we have some incredible, exciting news as Disney Star Wars has just announced 10 new Star Wars shows and movies. Let's get right into it. I want to just, go over the basic things that we already know about these 10 new shows coming to Disney Plus in the next couple of years. That's 2 to 3 years. Also, just so you know, you should probably know, if I stutter or say a lot, that is because this video does not have any type of script, as I just really wanted to make this video and get it out to you guys. So let's start with a droid story. First of all, let me list them all. We have a droid story, Star Wars Visions, Star Wars The Bad Batch, the Acolyte, I'm still learning how to pronounce that. We have LANDO, Andor, Cassian Andor from Rogue One, Ahsoka, Rangers of the New Republic, and Obi-Wan Kenobi. So let's save Obi-Wan Kenobi for the last because many of us are quite excited for that. So let's start with a droid story in Star Wars Visions. As Lucasfilm continues to develop new stories, the intersection of animation and visual effects offers new opportunities to explore. Lucasfilm Animation will be teaming up with Lucasfilm's visual effects team, Industry Lights and Magic, to develop a special Star Wars adventure for Disney Plus, a droid story. This epic journey will introduce us a new hero guided by legendary duo R2-D2 and C-3PO. So that's just the little description of what we have of a droid story. It's like a little type of special type of thing. It's not going to be really a series or anything, but it definitely does seem quite exciting. Sorry. Moving on to Star Wars Visions, presenting all new creative takes on the galaxy far, far away. Star Wars Visions will be a series of animated short films celebrating Star Wars through the lens of the world's best anime creators. The anthology collection, sorry about that, will bring 10 fantastic visions from several of the leading Japanese anime studios, offering a fresh and diverse culture perspective to Star Wars. So this one is basically made by anime creators, so we can expect, an anime type of theme to it and look to it, which is going to be definitely interesting, and it's going to tell some new stories and some old stories, I'm guessing, kind of retelling them. Maybe the anime stuff that we have on YouTube here, actually, I've seen those before. They look really cool. Alright, so moving on to Star Wars Bad Batch. Bad Batch, what it looks like here, it looks like it's just basically taking over the Clone Wars and Rebels. As if you saw that trailer, we'll have a breakdown video on it, kind of like a little trailer, little sneak peek at it. There are definitely a few things that they snuck in there, which is really cool, but yeah, it basically seems to be like the new Clone Wars or the new Star Wars Rebels. So here's the description on that. The series follows the elite and experimental clones of the Bad Batch, first introduced in the Clone Wars that last season, as they find their way in a rapidly changing galaxy in the immediate aftermath of the Clone Wars. Members of the Bad Batch, a unique squad of clones who vary genetically from their brothers in the Clone Army, each possess a singular exceptional skill which makes them extraordinary effective soldiers and formidable crew. In the post-Clone Wars era, they will take on daring mercenary missions as they struggle to stay afloat and find new purpose. The animated series will arrive exclusively on Disney Plus. So it looks a lot like the Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels styled, of course, with its animation, and it really does look like the new kind of Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels, and it's really exciting as it takes place directly after the Clone Wars and directly after Revenge of the Sith. And that's something that we haven't really seen besides maybe in the comics with Vader Imperial Machine, which is a great comic series I've heard. But this type of stuff, with the clones, still having clones work for the Empire instead of stormtroopers before they transitioned over, is really exciting. And I cannot wait for it. It just looks awesome. Okay, so moving on now to the Acolyte. It's a bit hard to pronounce, but here's what we know about that. Leslie Headland, Emmy Award nominated creator of the mind-bending series Russian Doll, brings a new Star Wars series to Disney Plus with The Acolyte. The Acolyte is a mystery thriller that will take the audience into a galaxy of shadowy secrets and emerging dark side powers in the final days of the High Republic era. So as we know from this, the High Republic era is much like the Old Republic games, and those little cinematic shots that you can find here on YouTube. They're absolutely incredible for the time that they came out, and they're extremely fun to watch. I love that little story, and the Old Republic games are really loved, and many love them because they grew up with them. So as we know from High Republic, it's basically the Old Republic. Okay, so all I can really say about this is if you like the Old Republic, you're more than likely going to like the High Republic era because they're pretty much the same thing. So the Anticlyde is a mystery thriller type of thing. It's something we really haven't seen in Star Wars before, a mystery thriller. It's definitely going to be exciting, and I cannot wait for it. Oh, that looks awesome. Alright, moving on to Lando. First of all, before I get started with this description here, I just wanted to say that Lando is a great character, and I think that he's always deserved some sort of movie or series because, we've never got to learn who he actually was and his purpose and what he brings to the Star Wars table besides what we see him do in Solo, Star Wars Story, and The Empire Strikes Back, and The Return of the Jedi. And even then, he was just like a side character. I want to see him as a main character because he is a complex character, both in the mind and his story development and how he exactly works in his head psychologically. So here's the description on that. Everyone's favorite scoundrel, Lando Calrissian, will return in a brand new event series for Disney+. Justin Simeon, creator of the critically acclaimed Dear White People on Netflix and a huge Star Wars fan, is developing the story. So there's not much to say about this, but it definitely looks exciting, and what we can tell from the logo that's out right now, it looks like it would be live action because of just the way that logo was made. I don't think it would be animated, but it definitely looks great. And as for the original Lando, Billy D, I think he's just a bit too old now, to get really into the acting game here, especially with a TV series and a whole, show. I feel like he's just a bit too old for it. And especially, if they want to have a lot of action in there and he's going to be the main character, I definitely think they're going to stick to my one and only Donald Glover. I absolutely love him. His music, acting, comedy skits, you name it, I love him. Cannot wait for it, and I'll definitely keep you guys updated with all these types of series and as news comes in. So moving on to Andor, as the show is now actually called. It's not just called the Cassian Andor series or anything like that. It actually has a name now. So Andor, a tense, nail-biting spy thriller created by Tony Gilroy, is set to arrive on Disney Plus in 2022. Diego Luna, reprising his role of the rebel spy Cassian Andor from Rogue One, will be joined by a fantastic new cast that includes Stellan Skarsgård, Andrea, I'm not even going to try to pronounce her last name, Fiona Shaw, Denise Gaw, Kyle Soller, and Genevieve O'Reilly as Mon Mothma. Production kicked off 3 weeks ago in London, and I don't know what you can really say about this. If you liked Rogue One, you're going to like this. And many people say that, oh, it's going to be bad, it's just Cassian Andor, it's going to be lame, well, we already know what happens to his character. I say no. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be filled with action. It's going to be post-Empire as well, or before the Empire, so post-Clone Wars is what I meant to say. It's going to be exactly like Rogue One, and it's going to be much like The Bad Batch, I guess you could say. It definitely looks great, and it, what we saw from that little quote-unquote trailer or sneak peek look at it, they look like they're, putting full effort into it, and, really taking their time with it and treating it like an actual film. Moving on, we have Ahsoka. The shows are getting up there, okay? We're getting up there now to some really good shows, okay? Ahsoka is getting her own series. Can you believe that? I still haven't really let that sunk in. But, here's the description on that. After making her long-awaited live-action debut in The Mandalorian, Ahsoka Tano's story, written by Dave Filoni, will continue in a limited series starring Rosario Dawson, an exclusive or executive produced by Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau. First of all, those are like the godfathers of Star Wars, as they directed many episodes of The Mandalorian, which people absolutely loved. Dave Filoni is also the creator of, Ahsoka, and directed the Clone Wars, and he made the Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels. So this just looks really exciting. It really does. And, you know, The Mandalorian, it was kind of a little stepping stone for it. I don't really think we're going to see her in The Mandalorian anymore if, you know, she's going to be in here. So, I don't know what to say. I mean, my little heart is just full of excitement for this, and I cannot wait. I mean, she's just such a complex character, and she is that character that we need. She's that strong character that we need. She is, you know, a Jedi. No hate to the sequels, but she's a Jedi. You know, she knows what she's doing. She's been trained in the Clone Wars by the best, Anakin Skywalker, so there's probably going to be more mentions of him in there. But, you know, a lot of theories that I've heard is that, you know, that Maul cameo that we see at the end of Solo will step off into this show as well, Ahsoka. So, it just definitely looks like absolutely exciting, and I cannot wait for it. Moving on, we have Rangers of the New Republic. And here's that little, you know, that little description that we have on this. Set within the Mandalorian timeline, this new live-action series from executive producers Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni will intersect with future stories and accumulate into cinematic story events. So, when I first thought of this, I thought of it kind of as, you know, taking place during the Clone Wars. So it was like, oh, more prequel era, you know, content, but because, you know, Republic, and I just put 2 and 2 together, but Republic has a new meaning now, and especially when you put new in front of it, New Republic, that's more of, you know, post-Empire. So, and it says it's, you know, taking place during The Mandalorian, and put 2 and 2 together, those X-Wing pilots, you know, including Dave Filoni, who plays one, it's definitely going to be about them, and it's going to be awesome having Dave Filoni in a show, more than likely. I mean, it looks like a fun little thing, you know, that they're going to have, almost like a comedy, I guess. I definitely can't wait for it. It's going to be exciting. I can't wait for any of these. It's all just so exciting. Okay, moving on to the big one. Alright, here we go. Obi-Wan Kenobi, everybody. I have waited for this everyone's waited for this a long time, you know, ever since it was announced back at D23 in August. Oh, okay, let's get into it. Let's read it. Last August at D23 Expo, Lucasfilm announced the return of Ian McGregor in the iconic role of Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi for a special event series on Disney+. It's officially titled Obi-Wan Kenobi. The series begins 10 years after the dramatic events of Star Wars Revenge of the Sith, where he faced his greatest defeat, the downfall and corruption of his best friend and Jedi apprentice, Anakin Skywalker, turned evil to the Sith Lord Darth Vader. The series is directed by Deborah Chow, who helmed memorable episodes of The Mandalorian Season 1. The big thing on this is that HAYDEN Christensen is returning. The King is back. Anakin Skywalker is back. Or Darth Vader now, as I should say. I mean, there's just a lot to say on this. I can't believe it. And, you know, wow. They're really doing it. They're kind of listening to the fans here and taking that, and they're bringing him back, and it's really exciting. It is really something exciting. I don't really know what to say about it. I'm still processing it. I mean, just wow. You know, we're getting all these other shows, a crap ton of other shows, and then they hit us with this. Like, wow. This just wow is all I can say is wow. It's definitely going to be something, you know, crazy good. And I don't think Disney Plus or Disney has actually said anything, but they are adding a rated R section, is what I've heard, and what many have rumored and said. A rated R section on Disney Plus. First of all, wow. Okay. For Disney. I definitely think if they were to do that, I think the Obi-Wan Kenobi show would fall underneath that, you know. Well, for the reasons, if you take things out of the comics and put it into there, and, you know, just the whole psychological aspects behind that, with Obi-Wan having PTSD, it isn't the most kid-friendly thing, and it can even be seen as scary, because it's a real thing. It's a real thing that real people deal with, and I don't think it's very kid-friendly, and I think it's something that would go in that rated R almost. And, you know, of course, there'd be other things that they could add in there, like, I don't know, Boba Fett smashing in Stormtroopers' helmets, you know, as we saw in The Mandalorian. That was just awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So I think that they could add more violent things into this show, is what I'm saying. maybe Obi-Wan cutting off sand people in half and stuff, and just that type of thing. This definitely looks awesome. I cannot wait for it. Okay, it's just wow. We wait a long time to get some news on this, and they finally said something on it, so it's quite exciting. So now moving on to, we have an Untitled Taiki film. Okay, he's a great director, first of all. Great director. He directed many Marvel movies, I've heard, and now he's set to direct a Star Wars film. So here's that little description on that. A brand new Star Wars feature film with acclaimed filmmaker and Academy Award-winning Taiki Waititi. I think I'm saying that right. I'm not really sure. He's a really cool guy, so I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. Is in development. Taiki's approach to Star Wars will be fresh, unexpected, and unique, said Kennedy. Kathleen Kennedy, the president of Lucasfilm. His enormous talent and sense of humor will ensure that audiences are in for an unforgettable ride, is what is said so far on that. It looks awesome. Wow, I cannot wait for this either. I mean, any of them, they all just look so exciting. It's just another movie that we're getting. Well, not in that sense. I don't mean it in that sense. It's another, Star Wars movie that we're getting. It doesn't look to be a part of any type of trilogy, and it looks like it's just going to be kind of like a solo movie, much like Rogue Squadrons, which I'm going to talk about next. So, but a little more on this is, it looks like it's going to be a bit funny because, well, look at the director. He directed Thor Ragnarok. If you've seen that, it was a kind of, pretty funny movie. And I think he's directed a few other, Mandalorian episodes as well. He directed Mandalorian episodes too, which are, of course, great. Okay, so now moving on to Rogue Squadrons. The next Star Wars feature film will be Rogue Squadron, directed by Patty Jenkins. She's directed the Wonder Woman franchise. The story will introduce a new generation of starfighter pilots as they earn their wings and risk their lives in bounty-pushing, high-speed thrill ride, and move the saga into the future era of the galaxy. So, to elaborate a bit on this, she had a little, type of sneak peek where she actually spoke on it, and why she's making it, and why she wants to make it, all that type of stuff. It looks great, and she has a great reason for it, and it looks like kind of an honor thing almost, and it's something that she wants to honor, and of course we all get that. Go ahead and honor it. So it's going to be the next Star Wars big movie released in 2023 on Christmas Day. All right, so hopefully COVID-19 will more than likely be gone by then, as vaccines are starting to go out now. But it really does look quite exciting, much like that other Lucasfilm movie called Red Wings, with the African American pilots during World War II, and how that went. It was an exciting movie, and it was filled with action, and I really think that this is going to be much like that. Rogue Squadrons is going to be about just piloting and Star Wars. It looks awesome. I really get that not just because the name Star Wars Rogue has Rogue in there, Rogue One, put two and two together. I kind of get that Rogue One kind of vibe from it, and I think we'll get that Rogue One vibe from it as well. It definitely looks all very exciting, and I cannot wait for it. This was quite a long video because there's just so much to go over and talk about. But that does it for today's video. Go comment down below. Your top 3 shows. There's so many to choose from. Mine are definitely Obi-Wan, The Bad Batch, and Ahsoka. All of them. I'm excited for all of them. Yeah, go check out our Instagram, link down in the description as well. Leave a like on this video, as it really does help us if you enjoyed this video. And just subscribe for more videos like this. I really do appreciate all this recent support that you guys have been showing, and I just want to pat myself on the back because I didn't really say that much as I really thought I would say it. There's just so much to say about these, and I guess I didn't really say a whole lot. I mean, I'm just still processing it all, but it's all very exciting. But anyway, I'll catch you guys in the next video. It's probably going to be the Mandalorian breakdown, or more news on this stuff, or whatever, maybe a theory video. I'm not really sure. It's just I have a lot of fun making these videos for you guys, and I just want to say thank you guys for supporting them, and of course I'll see you guys in the next video. This is the way. May the Force be with you. Peace out.